Are you saying that BJP aside, the CPM and the Congress have at least come out in the open saying that your demand for a separate Tripura land
It's constitutional.
is constitutional? Why is the BJP not forthcoming in saying that it is a constitutional demand? What do you think?
Wasbir, please understand one thing. 70 years we have suffered. I'm not asking for something which is extraordinary.
If you want to be a ruling party or a part of the ruling combined, whatever we call it, in Tripura, you have to align with somebody. Do you see the Tripura Motha in the role of a kingmaker this time in 2020?
See, I don't know about kingmakers. I know a bit about kings.
You
But
want to be the king?
no, we want to be the people who did not compromise on what and why we were voted for.
Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. Number 1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
News at 5, in association with Accoland Amusement Park, Annapurna Foods, Junior Holics, and Biz Farm Biscuits.
Relentless search and rescue operations underway in Manipur's Noni district. 11 more bodies recovered today. Over 60 people feared dead in one of region's biggest tragedies. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh constantly monitors rescue operations at Noni. GOC in Commander Eastern Command Lieutenant General R.P. Kolita rushes to Tupul for second in a row to monitor operations. Sam Minister Pichus Hazarika to visit Noni tomorrow. Team Northeast Live interacts with family members of those trapped. Ball of gloom descends on Noni area as rescue workers race against time. Flood situation continues to be grim in parts of Assam. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma takes stock of situation in Barak Valley. Focus on pumping water out of residential areas. And fierce encounter between security forces and rebels in eastern Assam's Tinsukia district. One suspected Alpha independent cadre gunned down by forces. Hello and welcome to News at 5. I'm Priyadarshini Medhi and we start the bulletin with the biggest national story. Well, the Manipur tragedy, where 65 people are feared dead due to massive landslide, most of whom are personnel of the Territorial Army. Well, so far, 11 bodies have been recovered today from the debris, taking the number to recoveries to 19 since yesterday. So viewers, now we go live to our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, who is at the site, which is about 60 kilometers from state capital Imphal. All right, now I'm being joined live with Arindam Das. So Arindam, 2 more bodies recovered. Where are you at this point in time and how's the situation there, Arindam? Give us more details.
Yes, a massive search and rescue operation is underway at None, which is the site of this massive landslide which has hit Tupul railway yard. This is an project of the NF railway. It's a railway line connecting Jiribam with Imphal, which is a total length of 110 kilometers. And before the completion of this project, a massive disaster has struck this ambitious project of the NF railway. This scene, I can tell you that it's a massive landslide, and an entire mountain has come down, and it has gone all the way down to the stream Ijay River, that's below Ijay River, and it has blocked the Ijay River below. And right now, I can tell you that not two, three recovered down the hill near the Ijay River, and efforts are being on right now to bring up the bodies. You can see the first body there. It's being brought by the NDRF personnel. So it's a very mammoth task for them even to retrieve the bodies and bring them uphill. And the other two bodies are below there. They're also being carried up right now. It's taking a lot of time to bring up the bodies from downstream, because you see the entire mountain has come down, and this has made the rescue and search operation more challenging, because the agencies engaged in the rescue and search operation, they have no reference right now. It's a huge area where to carry out the search and rescue operations. Where are the which are the areas where there are chances of finding the bodies, who are the bodies of the people who are trapped under this debris. Been told that this debris height would be around if we compare with a four-storied building. So the people, around 59 people who are still feared trapped under this debris, is under a four-storied building of so that is the amount of mud or debris that has come up from the hill and gone down to the stream. In fact, the the landslide started from that point, from the tip of the hill, and it came all the way down. Everything that came on the way, there were territorial army camp, there were NFL employees camping here, apart from the villagers here. So it was around 2 a.m. day before yesterday when the people were in deep slumber, when this massive landslide struck this area. They had no idea as to what had happened, and all of a sudden it was bleak darkness in front of them. And right now, I can tell you that a massive search and combing operation is being done by the army, NDRF, and SDRF team. The locals are also assisting the search and rescue operations. And in fact, a amateur mountaineering group of Manipur has also come ahead to give a helping hand in this rescue and search operation. So I can tell you that yesterday 8 bodies were recovered, and today 11 bodies recovered so far. So the total number of bodies recovered so far has gone up to 19. Another 59, we have been told, are still trapped under this huge debris. An entire mountain has come down. So the people are buried under a mountain. So the chances of finding anybody alive from that debris is very, very thin. As time is running out, it will be a miracle to find somebody alive in that debris. It is almost 48 hours now since this disaster struck this area, and right now also efforts are on to locate as many number of people as can be done right now. But the bodies which have been recovered are from the downhill area near that EJ River. So the people who might be trapped in this portion, that's the middle portion of the mountain or the upper reaches of the mountain, it would be very difficult for the agencies engaged in the rescue and search operations to find them, because as I mentioned, it's a huge debris. An entire mountain has come down and it has buried all that came in its way.
Right, Arindam, as you've already mentioned, that relentless rescue operations is underway at this point in time by the NDRF and SDRF. Well, not only the NDRF and SDRF, in fact, the locals, they are also helping to carry out the rescue operations. So, Arindam, my question to you, like approximately how many people they are engaged in the rescue operations at this point in time in that spot, Arindam?
Well, a massive deployment has been made by the Army, the NDRF and SDRF teams here. And all I can say that the area is huge. And as I have mentioned, that it is very challenging for the people who are carrying out the rescue and search operations because it's a huge area. They don't know exactly where to search for the people who are still buried here under this debris. It's a huge area. They don't have a point as to where to carry out the search and rescue operations. And as I have mentioned, that all the bodies recovered so far are downhill near the river EJ. And no bodies have been recovered in this portion. That's the middle portion of the mountain, which has entirely caved in. And in fact, the mountain caved in and blocked the EJ River, creating an artificial reservoir. And efforts are right now on to clear that blockage because that might be another catastrophe in the waiting. Because if this dam like scenario which has been created by this mudslide, if that bursts, then there might be flash floods downstream and villages downstream might face the brunt of this flash floods. So efforts are right now underway using heavy earth movers and excavators to clear up the stream of this river so that water can flow easily and there will not be any blockages. So efforts around to right now locate the people who are trapped inside and also to clear this river stream which has been blocked by this mudslide.
So massive rescue operations underway at this point in time in Tupul area in Nonay district. So Arindam, are sufficient materials available like the earth cutters and all for the smooth running of the rescue operation there in that spot, Arindam?
Yes, let me tell you that the distance from Impal to this Tupul railway yard is around 63 kilometers, but it took us around more than 3 hours to reach this location. So you can make out that how difficult it is this terrain. I mean, the roads are very treacherous. Even this stretch of the road is blocked right now. Heavy earth movers and excavators are used to clear this debris so that uh, the earth moving vehicles like the JCB and other heavy equipments can move so that can expedite the search and rescue operations. But right now, all the search and rescue operation are being carried out by the foot soldiers of the Army, NDRF, and SDRF.
All right, Arindam Das, thank you so much for all those details. So, viewers, these are live visuals coming in from Tupul in Nonay district of Manipur. And also, let me tell our viewers once again here that your channel, this is Northeast Live, is the only channel who is reporting from ground zero where the massive landslide took place in Manipur. And meanwhile, an additional NDRF team has reached the spot from Nagaland and joined the rescue operation. So, a massive rescue operations is underway at this point in time in the spot that you can see on your screens. These are live visuals. Our chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, is there to give us all the latest updates. And our Imphal correspondent, Sharat Chandra, they are there. And the Northeast Live is the only channel. This is the only channel who is reporting this Manipur tragedy and massive rescue operations. There you can see the area is huge and relentless efforts going on to rescue the people, the NTRF, STRF, the locals, in fact, the Assam Rifles, they are involved to the rescue operation. All right, now I'm being joined with our news editor, Nabrun Goswami, who will take us through the sequence of events. So, Nabrun, over to you.
Yes, Priya, massive tragedy this. We'll have a look at the sequence of events. We'll have a look at the sequence of events. What actually happened? It was past midnight on the 29th of June or 30th, to be precise, when the massive landslide took place. It swept away the Territorial Army camp that was in the area. plus the railway station, the Tupul railway station. Tupul is the location. It's the Tupul railway station where the incident had taken place. And the landslide swept away the Territorial Army camp, the railway station, the labor camp, the quarters, everything that was there. In fact, an entire hill, the entire mountain came down, as our colleague Arindam Das just described from the spot of the incident. The entire hill came down. Such was the force of the landslide that it changed the course. In fact, it blocked the river AJ that flows through Noni, creating a dam-like situation upstream. So we can imagine the force and everything. It buried everything along the way. Of course, when the incident took place, shortly after, there were more companies of the Territorial Army posted around a distance of 3 to 4 kilometers. They were immediately shifted. Locals came in. Rescue operations began on the midnight day before yesterday. And of course, by 5:30 in the morning, at least 13 people could be rescued. But what details were coming in yesterday, as per the DC Noni, he feared that at least 82 people were impacted, 82 people were trapped, of which 13 were rescued. So even then, over 60, close to 60 to 65 were trapped. Of course, the figures are almost telling even today. As we speak, Priya, 19 bodies have been recovered so far, 8 yesterday. 11 bodies have been recovered so far today. Operations have resumed early this morning. Relentless operations, search operations, rescue operations have been underway, and we can see the terrain is very difficult, not easy. We have had small landslides that have taken place since yesterday, and it's been drizzling also a bit in the morning or during the daytime. So very difficult terrain. The task is definitely cut out for the rescue workers. And of course, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has been personally monitoring the situation. Second day in a row, he visited Noni, he visited Tupul, he visited the area of the incident, monitoring things personally. We had the GOC Eastern Command Lieutenant General R.T. Kalita also visiting Noni for second day in a row. And of course, at least 11 army columns have been pressed into service. It's a race against time, but probably the sad news is that the chances are very slim of the remaining 55 to 65, between them the people who are still trapped under the debris, and the chances of survival are very slim. We Northeast is the only channel which sent multiple teams to the incident site. Chief of Bureau Arindam Das is on ground zero. Our Manipur Field Chief Sharad Chandra is on ground zero. We interacted with locals. We interacted with family members of those who are still trapped under the debris, and it's an anxious wait for them. It's definitely an anxious wait for them. The rescue workers are doing their best. You can see how difficult the terrain is. Just going uphill and coming back itself is a task, and we have seen with how much difficulty they had been pulling out the bodies since morning. As many as 11 bodies have been recovered, and the kind of difficulties that they have to go through. And this operation may still take at least a couple of days or more, via minimum. That is what it seems like. And in the meantime, as we speak, I repeat once again, 11 bodies have been recovered today, taking the total number of recoveries to 19 so far. We still fear that at least close to 60 more people may be trapped. Chances of survival slim. You can see there how difficult the terrain is. Our correspondent Sharad Chandra also interacted with some of the locals, some good Samaritans who are there. The locals are doing a great job as assisting the forces, the NDRF, the SDRF in the rescue operations is concerned. We had a team of locals who saved as many as 4 lives yesterday, day before yesterday, shortly past midnight. Locals risking their lives to save those buried under the debris. So yes, tales of heroism, tales of humanity coming out, but definitely it's the one of the biggest tragedy, arguably the biggest tragedy in the state of Manipur in recent times. And there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. Why did the entire hill come down? It's a well-forested area. Usually the chances of a landslide in such areas, such a massive landslide in such areas seem slim. But that has happened now. I'm sure there will be inquiries, there will be proofs. They will definitely go back and revisit things as to why the tragedy happened. The immediate focus right now, Priya, of course, is to retrieve the remaining who are trapped, the remaining people who are trapped in the debris. And we can always hope for miracles if we find some of the people alive. We earlier in the morning when our chief of bureau was leaving for Manipur, we interacted with some of the family members who were on their way to Imphal from Assam, from Guwahati. At least 23, 24, at least a couple of dozen from Assam are feared to be among the victims. So, sort of concern. Assam is sending one of its ministers, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma is sending Minister Piyush Hazarika to Manipur tomorrow to take stock of the situation, to take stock of the rescue operation. So yes, this has impacted the entire northeast of Assam, all places, and it's a massive. It's a tragedy of a massive scale. We are 60 to 65. If the death toll reaches that, it's a real massive and definitely calls for proof. But as of now, as we speak, relentless rescue operations underway, and this looks like it will continue at least for the next 48 to 72 hours.
Right, Nabran Goswami, thank you so much for all those details. So viewers, they can see these are live visuals coming in from people in Noni district of Manipur, and a massive rescue operation, relentless rescue operations is underway at this point in time by the SDRF and NDRF. And as our news editor, Nabran Goswami, he very clearly mentioned that the locals, they played a great role. They are assisting the NDRF and SDRF team to find the bodies, recovered bodies. And also let me tell our viewers once again here that 11 bodies have been recovered today. So taking the total number of recoveries to 19 since yesterday. And our Chief of Bureau, Arundam Das, has arrived there on the spot to give us all the latest updates. Imphal correspondent Sharat Chandra, he's also there. So Northeast Live is the only channel who is there, who is reporting from the ground zero to give us all the. They are giving the multiple sites. We also spoke with the locals out there and the family members who have lost their loved ones, and a pall of gloom have descended. And meanwhile, our colleague Sharat Chandra caught up with None SDO for details of operations. Take a look.
Honorable CM is directly monitoring. Yesterday also he was there at the spot. Even today he was there at the spot directly monitoring with all state machineries. And we would like to thank the SDRF team also. We have around 94. They came from this Kohima, then Silchar, then from Imphal. The total of 94 that we have. Then this, I mean that NDRF. Yeah, SDRF number is 40. And this CRPF also helping us. Army, everyone is helping us. Even from other district, MMPA, then from the state also, state machinery, some officers are being detailed here to help us because, as we all know, None is a new district with a less strength of staff. Actually, I would like to thank the villagers for helping us. They help us in everything, in logistic support, everything. And also this NHIDCL team, there are many companies as well as railway, we are using their machineries. This is a team effort. Today we recovered 8 dead bodies. Today 9. So total dead bodies recovered so far is 17. Then we have rescued 18 injured, and they have been some have been transported to Imphal and other hospital, army hospital also. Then still we fear that around 49 are still missing. So they may be under the debris. So the total together we expect we feared it's 82, but this number can change every now and then because we cannot ascertain the exact number. This will depend on many factors like this. These are very difficult area, as we all know. Even the affected area is it will be a stretch of around 2 kilometers, more or less, approximately. So it's a very big area, which is one of the biggest landslide, I should say, in the history of Manipur also. That is the thing, and It will depends upon the weather condition also. We are lucky, I should say, even today. We have no rain, so this is help us. So even today also we recover 9 dead bodies so far. The weather is with us maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 3 days or before that one also, because we have started using a big machinery excavator.
Meanwhile, our Chief of Bureau Arindam Das also spoke to NF Railway Chief General Manager Anshul Gupta regarding the devastating landslide at the Tupul Railway Yard. Well, it may be mentioned here that the NFR Chief General Manager is among the senior officials who are present at the disaster site and monitoring the entire operations.
We are joined in by the General Manager of Northeast Frontier Railway, Mr. Anshul Gupta, who has right now reached the spot at Tupul Railway Yard where this massive landslide took place. Well, sir, first of all, we'd like to know from you, a disaster has struck in one of the ambitious project of the railways. Can you please brief us on it?
Actually, I think 2 days back, uh, there was a heavy landslide from the hilltop you can see, and then not only it damaged our yard, but a lot of establishments where these army people from the territorial army, they were staying for the protection of this alignment, as well as our contractual staff. Our three supervisors were also there. So around 81 people they washed away.
Well, sir, we have seen two back-to-back disasters striking railway infrastructure. One we saw in Haflong, and right now here this ongoing railway project, Jiribam Imphal railway project, which has the world's highest pier bridge. So somewhere, do you think it's as a matter to be examined?
So as you have seen, this landslide is not only at this spot, but when you come from Imphal to this place, the entire highway and other things, they are already under the debris, lot of debris because of the heavy landslide. And this has happened because there has been extraordinary heavy rains in last few days. And that is what caused this heavy landslide here also. I think in last many years, people have not experienced such a heavy rainfall. And that is the main cause which has caused such type of rain cuts, landslides and mudslide. So our target to bring railways up to this Topol yard was March 2023, and we think that we will be able to maintain the same target of March 2023. As regards Badarpur Lumding section, I have already told that train traffic we will restore by 12th of July, despite heavy rains which are taking place in last few days again, and there are few sites which have again developed, but we have increased our resources in terms of machine and other manpower, and we are hopeful that by 12th July, that section, the rail traffic will start.
So, sir, you are attributing to this excessive heavy rainfall and not to the excavation work or the construction work that is going
No,
on.
no, there was no excavation work going on because this, what you have seen, this was already there for last 8 years. No work was being done in last few days, and this has of heavy rains. Also been reported that at the hilltop there was some farming. I think banana cultivation was going on, and that some water reservoir was also there from where the water supply was being taken, and that is one of the probable cause, the seepage of water which weakened this hill, and ultimately they caused this landslide, heavy landslide. But anyway, we will again examine. We have already requested the state government and other agencies that wherever such types of public transport system is going on, is there, such type of cultivation should be disciplined so that the hill remains like hill. So we have already brought geologists, and they will further examining the soil strata, the hillsides, what protection, additional protection we have to take. Though we have already taken all the protections while building this line, and whatever additional things will be required, we will take that step. But December 2023 is a target which we still hold.
So, you are hopeful that you will reach your target.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was General Manager of Northeast Frontier Railway, Mr. Anshul Gupta, talking exclusively to Northeast Live, reporting from Tupul Railway Yard in Manipur. This is Arindam Das for Northeast Live.
All right, viewers, we will continue our coverage from Manipur, but now it's time for a very short break. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m. Northeast Live, most watched English news channel in Northeast. Number 1 English channel in region. Highest urban and rural viewers in Northeast. Most viewed news channel of Northeast on YouTube.
All right, moving on now. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh visited the tragedy site at None for the second day in a row today to take stock of the rescue operations. Well, speaking exclusively to Northeast Live Chief of Bureau Arindam Das, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh informed that the state government is doing everything possible to assist in the rescue operations. The Chief Minister N. Biren Singh also informed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inquired about the situation.
It is very sad. It is the first time happening in the state of Manipur, this type of disasters. And we are really feel very, very sad, and we have lost many precious life around 2024, the civilians, and mainly our territorial army personnel lost their life. And some has found, recovered, and 12, 13 people found alive, rescued. And still under the mud, we are having around 59, 56, 7 people are still. So we are very difficult to get inside the Azak area, Azak location, due to the muddy slide facing there. And we are organizing both from the state government and from the army and the some rifles, and the local people are also supporting like anything to recover the dead bodies. And I think it may continue 2-3 days more because we are not able to cross the this roadside. And I conveyed my deepest condolence to the family of the victims, and I also share their sorrow. And the state government has announced to compensate the person who lost their life. Uh, Everyone will get, including the civilian, 5 lakhs each, and those who injured, they will be given 50,000. And our government teams, along with the army and Assam Rifle, will be camping here till the body is totally found.
So, what is the exact number of people who got buried in the debris, the number of people rescued alive, the number of people still feared trapped, and how many dead so far? What is recovered?
Uh, as of now, a total was 81, and 81 bodies, but 24 has already, uh, 18 has already recovered, and 6 dead body recovered, 14 survive. Okay, and another around 50 9 bodies are still buried. That is the worry. So we're trying to get them.
And what is the breakup? How many army personnel? How many civilians? How many railway people?
You know, uh, 23 is the army personnel, 35 is the railways, and a 5 is civilian.
And how are you moving ahead with the search and rescue operations right now?
Searches rescue operation is going very smoothly, getting support from the all angles. Army personnel, SDRF, NDRF was sent by the Union Home Minister. Honorable uh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji himself called me yesterday, and he himself monitoring the situation, and he also assisting and already advised to send NDRF and army personnel along with the sophisticated machineries which can be detected dead bodies lying under the mud. And Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shahji also kind called me yesterday, and he also just take the notes about the development of the situation, and he also assured to help provide any kind of help.
So it is going to be a very challenging task.
Yeah, really, it is a very challenging task. Everyone is, standing and working day and night, searching the dead bodies, and just everyone is with sentimental, feelings for losing of many precious lives.
Meanwhile, Northeast Live Editor-in-Chief Wasbir Hussain spoke to General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Eastern Command Lieutenant General R.P. Kalita, who is also at Noni to take stock of the situation. Lieutenant General R.P. Kalita informed that Army helicopters are on standby to evacuate those in need of urgent medical help. Besides, the Army has set up a medical post at the landslide site. He also informed that among the 19 people rescued, 13 are Territory Army personnel.
I'm now joined by General Rana Pratap Kalita, the GOC in C of Eastern Command. General Kalita, you are in Imphal, the scene, close to Imphal. That massive tragedy had taken place on Thursday. What inputs do you have? The Territorial Army personnel have suffered huge casualties.
Actually, it's a very sad incident. The railway station at Tupul has been under construction for last about 5 years. And in fact, this territorial army company had moved in only about 2.5 months back. So the whole hillside, in fact, has come down because of incessant rains that has been taking place a few days back. And along with that, the entire railway station, which included the accommodation for the railway staff, the labor camp, as also the TA company locality has been washed down. And that's a massive slide, which I had visited the location yesterday.
Right.
And in fact, day before night, when it had taken place, immediately the companies which are there in the neighboring localities, which is about 2.5 kilometers away from the landslide location, they were immediately mobilized at night itself, and of course with a lot of civilians who came forward to help.
Right.
So the rescue operations were launched immediately, and in the morning, more people from the NDRF, SDRF, as well as the railway plant equipments have been mobilized.
Right.
And best possible efforts are on to ensure the rescue of survivors at the earliest. And so far, about 13 army personnel as well as 5 civilians have been rescued.
Right.
And the search is on for the remaining survivors, but it's a Herculean task because task has been made more complex because of the small scale slides are still going on in that area.
Right. Now,
Though in spite of that, the people are working.
absolutely. The army must have kept all the logistics on standby to rescue people in case people are found to be alive during the rescue operations.
Yes, yes, of course. We have already established a medical aid post at the landslide locations along with a surgical team. And our helicopters are on standby. Should we find any survivor, you'll be immediately evacuated to Imphal, which is the nearest, established medical facility. All
Right.
other administrative and logistic support are being coordinated.
Right.
Railways have come up with a big effort. I must actually mention this. Then state government of Manipur under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, they have also provided necessary help. In fact, he had also visited the location yesterday and has mobilized all the state government resources for the rescue effort.
My final question to you, General, why was such a large contingent of the Territorial Army there? Was it just to provide protection to the railway employees or railway staff engaged in this project?
Yes, the entire railway line, which is coming up from Jiribam to Imphal, that as the construction progressed from west to east, the TA companies have been providing security to the construction, the people who are engaged in construction, because as you are aware that that area has got some insurgency issues. So to provide protection from the insurgents, so that the work can progress at a faster pace, though there have been TA companies have been deployed all along the railway line, which is under construction.
Absolutely. General Rana Pratap Kalita, the GOC in Sea Eastern Command, thank you very much for speaking to me on Northeast Life at a very, very critical juncture when large contingents of the Territorial Army have suffered casualties. The Army is working round the clock to rescue those trapped inside and provide aid and other logistic issues to those rescued. Thank you very much once again, General.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, during every crisis, every tragedy, there are heroes and good Samaritans who, without caring for their own security, go all out to rescue others. Well, Northeast Live correspondent Sharat Chandra caught up with one such hero who rescued as many as 4 railway officials while taking part in the first rescue operations. Well, Desilung Panmai of Sorai Padungno village and his team of locals carried out the rescue operations without caring for their lives.
The Silung Pamai, he's the exact person just lead the rescue operation, and round about 5%, that is mostly are the railway construction worker rescue from this side. This is the Saroi Pandongba village. This is a river side. On the Saroi Pandongba side, 5 labor who are just engaging in the railway construction, first rescued by Chunung Pamai and the team from this village. So these are the, you say, good Samaritan who have carried out the rescue operation before receiving any of the reinforcement from the Territorial Army, from the NDRF, from the SDRF. They first just came into this place and they carried out the rescue operation. Mi kaya mo nang rescue to yuja?
Mi mga asiba dead body ama.
Asiba ma? Hingba mari. Ko mi mga say the asiba amani ani mari mati hingba ne ko. Makoi the railway station gi kano ngakra company ngakane ba. Yore ba ko. Okay. All together they just rescue 4 people and they recover this another dead body of the one. Most probably, this worker engaged in the railway construction. Altogether, they have rescued 4 people alive. Then another as a dead body they have recovered. So these are the villagers from this Saroi Pandongma village.
Meanwhile, our colleague Sharat Chandra caught up with family members and kin of persons who have gone missing in the devastating landslide in Nonai. Listen in.
Ming sekari ko boy sangi.
Ay Tansilio.
Tangsilio sige dum sigi kun gimi oibra. Maneba ko. Yeah, this is the Tangsilio. She's also from this village that is the Makwam or Marangsing village. They are also here at the residence, this original house of the Gabongai. They all are here. Say lak pa se. Kay numitagi lak pa hore. Adagi
Ngarang niki halak pa hor.
Hoy. Aduga baruy na Gabongai magi nupi magi angang mang gi pau se. Si karum kan da phangi.
Ayok pong mga atayda. Adu mi mayam se lang koi kunge phone WhatsApp da adum tharaga ko adu khang adu dagi
So she came to know about the particular this massive landslide, and also she got the information at around this early morning yesterday at around 5, and since they came to know regarding the missing of the Gabongai, they have already gathered here, and now from this particular family, 3 members, that is Gabongai, his wife, and another minor girl children went missing since this massive landslide happened at the Tupul railway construction site.
Kadizalo. Kadizalo.
Kadijanlo.
Oh.
Kadijanlo have a call.
Oh.
You see, this is again mother-in-law of Kabongai wife's mother. She also came here at this original house of the Kabongai. They are just sharing the pain, you see, and now they're waiting for the update from the rescue side, rescue operation side. Magi yumchina kaya do ibro.
Nungtek.
Nungtek tagi si lakune ko.
Hoy.
Nungtek si kaya wajno.
Si makada.
Noni makada ko. Adi ana atopa village nge ko. Yeah, she's a mother-in-law of Kabongai. She's from Nungtek village. After hearing this this unfortunate incident, she also came here, sharing all the pain here, sharing all the worry here, coming here. So they have gathered here. The mother of Kabongai, mother-in-law of Kabongai, now they are here at this original house of Kabongai. You see, now she uncontrollably weeping. Now hope is very slim. Hope is very slim. They can be rescued alive. This hope is very slim. That is the reason. Now they are crying out. They are sharing the pain of each other at this Kabungai house located at the Marang Singh or Makwam village, part number 4. With video journalist Roshan, this is Sarath Chandra reporting for Notice Live from Marang Singh or Makwam village under Nona district of Manipur. Yeah, this is a very helpless situation. You see, there is no way. Only sharing with the pain with each other is this hope for rescuing alive. Now it's very slim, so they are crying out and sharing each other. You see, these are the scenes at the residence of Kabongai, who went missing along with his wife and the minor girl children since the massive landslide happened at Tupul railway construction site. With video journalist Roshan, this is Sarath Chandra reporting for Notice Live from Makwam, Marang Singh village, part number 4, Noni district, Manipur.
All right, shifting focus now. Well, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma today reviewed the situation in Barak Valley's Karimganj and Silchar from ground zero. Briefing news person Chief Minister Sharma said that the Barak River is expected to go below the danger level by tomorrow. Sharma informed that the focus now lies on pumping out the water from the residential areas. And as of now, 20 pumps are already pressed into service, while 12 more pumps will be flown from Guwahati tomorrow. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma said that relief operations have been intensified and 90% areas have already been covered. The Chief Minister also informed that there has been no outbreak of epidemic so far, with medical camps being organized intensively. Well, meanwhile, Chief Minister Sharma has ordered the Deputy Commissioner of Karimganj to complete the assessment of those by July 15. And electricity has also been restored in 90% of the areas. And meanwhile, in a significant statement, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma said that a special task force will be constituted under ADGP CID and a case will be registered into the Betokandi dike breach incident. Sharma said that there is information about the involvement of 6 people in damaging the dike that led to the flooding of Silchar town.
আজি আমাৰ বৰাকৰ পানী ডেঞ্জাৰ লেভেলৰ তলত নামিব বুলি আমি আশা কৰিছো আৰু এতিয়া আমি মেইন ফোকাস কৰিছো পাম্পেদি পানীটো উলিয়াই দিয়াৰ কাৰণে অলৰেডি শিলচৰ টাউনত 12টা ৱাটাৰ পাম্প কাম কৰি আছে গুৱাহাটীৰ পৰা 20টা ৱাটাৰ পাম্প ৰাতিপুৱা আহি পাব so from tomorrow 32 water pump will work to flush out the water from the Silchar town. Apnaloke jane je relief operation has been intensified. Etia unreached area 10% man thaki goise, but 90% area covered. Medical camp has been organized intensively. There is no report of any epidemic outbreak. Situation seems to be under control. We have started assessment of house damage. So by 15 July, I have instructed DC to complete the house damage assessment process. তাৰ লগত যিসকলৰ ফিচাৰী ডেমেজ হ'ল, ষ্টুডেণ্টৰ বুক লছ হ'ল, বা আমাৰ আদাৰ যিখিনি কেটল বা আদি লছ হ'ল, সেইখিনিৰ আমি এছেছমেণ্ট 15 জুলাইৰ আগত কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি ইনষ্ট্ৰাকশ্যন দিছোঁ। So far as infrastructure is concerned, restoration of roads, bridges, etc., that thing we'll do after 15 July, once water level actually comes down. Our Minister Porimal Suklobodya Jayantamalla Borua and our Principal Secretary Kalyan Chakraborty, our APDCL or MD, গোটেইবিলাক অফিচাৰে ইয়াত আছে। Silchar townot now only 22 transformer is not left to be connected. By evening, we hope that another 11 DTR will be connected. Usually, Silchar townot peak hour we consume 23 megawatts of electricity. Yesterday evening, we consumed 22 megawatt of electricity, meaning thereby that 90% of area has already been, electricity has been restored. It will be finally restored by tomorrow. So far as mobile link is concerned, Airtel and Jio has almost restored. 10 or 12 in each are left, but progress in VSNL is very slow. So I am going to take up the matter with VSNL authority. As Airtel and Jio is concerned, they have the mobile network. Now I will visit Betukandi. Let me see that if we can do something now. যদি পসিবল হয়তো আমি কৰিব পাৰিম, আৰু পসিবল নহলেও আমি নেক্সট ষ্টেজত আমি কৰিম। Regarding Betukandi beach, CID has been asked to register a case in Guwahati. So the case will be registered in Guwahati. People will be interrogated in Guwahati, and case will be investigated from Guwahati. It will be done by the CID under a STF, and there will be special task force will be constituted under ADGP CID. Case will be registered in Guwahati. Arrested, they have to take bail in Guwahati, not in Silchar. How many people are as of now, we have information of 6 people, but let's see that how things unfolded. We have ordered investigation by CID. FIR to Silchar SPL lodge korisile, but now we have taken it to the next level.
What are the measures taken to prevent any such movements in future?
ভাল একেটাক পাই গলে ভাল মেজাৰ হৈ যাব, নিজে নিজে they will get the message. Future flood, it is all depend on weather. Jodi man-made nohoy, we can resist it up to a level. So yat jibilak irrigation or switch gate adir complain asile manuhor. Now I'll go there and I'll see personally. Jodi manuhe cooperate nokore, কোনেও এটো কোপাৰ আপোনাৰ বেতুকান্দি যদি ডাইৰেক্ট মানুহে নাকাটিলেহেঁতেন, তাত ফাৰ্ষ্ট ৱেভ ছেকেণ্ড ৱেভৰ কথা নাই। সো চক এটা কথা, ডোন্ট ট্ৰাই টু সেভ এনিওয়ান। ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টে কৰক নকৰক, মানুহেতো নিজৰ বস্তুটো ৰাখিব লাগিব। ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টতো আহে গুচি যাব, কিন্তু আজি যি মানুহৰ কষ্ট পালে সেইটোতো সেই মানুহকেইজনৰ কষ্ট পালে। সো ইয়াত কাৰো ওপৰত ব্লেম চিফ নহব, যোনে কাটিছিল তাৰ ওপৰতে ব্লেম থাকিব। And I am going to take strictest action against them. And get a no argument kori pelai, nobody can get them spared.
And in some other stories now, a fierce gun battle between security forces and Alpha independent rebels has been reported from in Sukhya district. The encounter broke out at Sengeli in Kakopathar, where a group of Alpha independent rebels were taking shelter in the residence of Bhola Changmai. Meanwhile, as per inputs, one Alpha independent was gunned down by the forces in the encounter. So, big story we are tracking this evening, viewers. A fierce gun battle between security forces and Alpha independent rebels has been reported from eastern Assam's Tinsukia district, and the encounter broke out at Sengeli in Kakopothar, where a group of Alpha independent rebels were taking shelter in the residence of Bhola Changai. Meanwhile, as per inputs, one Alpha independent was gunned down by the forces in the encounter. Meanwhile, we have reactions coming in from Tinsukia SP. So listening.
চাওক সেইটো এতিয়া যিজন আমি পাইছোঁ তেওঁ জ্ঞান অসমৰ লগত ডেফিনেটলি তেওঁৰ হেৰিবোৰে থাকিব লগৰীয়াবোৰে থাকিব বহুতে বহুত কথাই ক'ব এতিয়া আমুক আছে তামুক আছে মই সেইটো বস্তুলৈ যাব বিচৰা নাই ইটছ এ কনফাৰ্ম গ্ৰুপ অফ আলফা এইটো সিহঁতৰ একশ্যন গ্ৰুপেই হ'ব সেইকাৰণে আহিছিলে আৰু যিবোৰ ৰিক্ৰুটমেণ্টছ পোৱা গৈছে বা ইয়াৰ ওচৰৰ মানুহে যিটো কথা কৈছে অন ডেট বেচিছ সেইটো কথা ক'ম কোন আছে ডেট ইজ নট ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট উইথ আৰ্মছ আছে আমি আমাৰ চাৰ্চ অপাৰেশ্যন চলি আছে তো কৈছে দেখোন ইয়াত যে যথেষ্ট বোকা সেইকাৰণে কিছুমান পোৱা নাই তথাপিতো আমি চেল কিছুমান পাইছোঁ গ্ৰেনেড মাৰি দিয়াৰ পিছত যিবোৰ টুকুৰা পোৱা যায় সেইবোৰ পোৱা গৈছে RPG চেল পোৱা গৈছে ফায়াৰ্ড বুলেট পোৱা গৈছে আৰু হেভাৰ চেক যিবোৰ লৈ আহে পিঠিত তেনেকুৱা 4টামান আছে তাত আমি ছাছপেক্টেড ID হ'ব পাৰে তেনেকুৱা কিছুমান পাইছোঁ ডিটনেটৰ পাইছোঁ আৰু ব্যৱহাৰ কৰা কিছুমান আছিলে নাই কাৰো একো ক্ষতি হোৱা নাই
And on to Sikkim now. Well, Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang today informed that the government is planning to provide ambulances to 7 colleges across Sikkim. The announcement comes after the mysterious death of a student within the premises of Nar Bahadur Bhandari Degree College at Tata. Many allege that 20-year-old Sam Shering Lepcha could have been saved had there been an ambulance in the college. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister also said that the budget for the ambulance service will be passed in the next assembly session. He added that the ambulance service will have an assigned driver and also assigned nurses. If the college is far from a health center or hospital, assigning medical officers will also be considered.
प्रत्येक कलेजेसहरुमा चाहिँ एम्बुलेन्स हुनुपर्छ एम्बुलेन्स सेवा दिनुपर्छ भन्ने एउटा डिमान्ड आयो सही डिमान्ड हो CCS लाई हाम्रो सचिव स्वास्थ्य विभाग आनन्द चापलाई मैले फोन गरेर हामीले पक्का दिनै पर्छ हामीले कलेजेसहरुमा अब हामी एम्बुलेन्स दिउ अनि एम्बुलेन्स सेवा प्रदान गरौँ र 7 वटा कलेजेसहरुमा हामी यो सप्लिमेन्ट्रीमा धनराशि राखेर हामी प्रत्येक कलेजलाई एक वटा एम्बुलेन्स हामी प्रदान गर्छौं
And on to national focus now. Well, in a significant development, Supreme Court today came down heavily on former BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma. Suspended BJP leader Nupur Sharma, whose comments on Prophet Muhammad triggered massive anger among Gulf nations and protests in the country, should apologize to the country, the Supreme Court said today. India's apex court further went on to say that Sharma is single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country. The Supreme Court was reaching to a petition by Nupur Sharma to transfer all FIRs filed against her over the comments to Delhi. Nupur Sharma urged in her application to transfer all the cases against her in different states to Delhi, as she said that she is constantly receiving threats to kill her from different states. Today, in its ruling, Justice Saurya Kant said, "We saw the debate on how she was incited, but the way she said all this and later says she was a lawyer, it is shameful. She should apologize to the whole country," unquote. Well, the apex court has further refused to grant relief to Sharma for transferring all FIRs registered against her to Delhi. It may be recalled here that towards the end of May, Nupur Sharma, then a spokesperson for the BJP, had made a comment on Prophet Muhammad during a TV debate, sparking a massive outrage globally. And as the clip from the debate went viral, at least 14 nations, mostly from the Middle East, slammed India over the comments. Thereafter, the BJP, in an attempt to control the damage, suspended Sharma and from the party. Well, meanwhile, Congress leader Renuka Chaudhary has reacted on the Supreme Court's remarks on Nupur Sharma. Renuka Chaudhary, while talking to the media, attacked the BJP by stating that party as a whole should apologize to the nation. Well, news and updates continue on Northeast Live, so stay tuned for more news. Thanks for watching.
News to keep you ahead. Evening Prime, every day at 7 p.m.